Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. We'll get started here in just a minute. We appreciate you being here this morning. Morning, team.
Good morning.
Just about ready to go here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And we'll be good to go. All right, for those of you that are on right now, if you could do me a favor, if you could verify that you can see my screen okay and you can hear me okay, that would be wonderful. We'd really appreciate your help on that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And Erica and Maureen, I'm assuming everything's good on your end as well.
Yes, it is.
Yes, everything looks great.
Great. All right, everyone. Well, welcome, welcome. It is 9 a.m. Central Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to our booj webinar. My name is Michelle Hoyt. I am happy to be your host today, and we'll be presenting a lot of information to you. So we know that a lot of you are at home, probably more than you ever thought you would be this week. And we just want to thank all of you for making this transition with us. We're all going through big adjustments here. I know you were all expecting live training this week in both New England and the Midwest region. So we will do our very best to bring you the very best possible experience. Our intent and our objective in this 2 hours is to cover everything that we were going to cover in those 4 hours. So I just want to let everyone know we're going to move at a very steady pace, but this is being recorded and it will be sent out to all of you so that you can pause and you can follow along as you need to. And that's our promise to you, is to make sure we get through all of the content. We're going to cover the CRM and we're going to cover the website. We're going to go live. We're going to talk through some things, and you're going to have an opportunity to ask questions. So here, just so you know, as you can have probably already figured out, this is a webinar, so you are in listen-only mode. So take note of the Q&A box that's at the bottom of your screen, and we would ask that you ask your questions in that particular area. That's easier for us to track. We can then pull reports off of that and be able to add those to our knowledge base and our support team. And like I said, this is being recorded. You will get a copy of the slides, and you will also get a copy of this recording later today. Okay? Well, again, welcome. Hope everyone's safe and healthy and well and stays that way. And we're all here together. Reach out to your loved ones. I've been doing that as well, just texting and staying in touch. And that's the beautiful thing about technology and social media. So use it to your advantage for sure. And let's all keep our spirits up. All right, so I have 2 panelists that are in the background for me. So I want to let them introduce themselves, starting with Maureen Colvin.
Hi, everyone. Maureen Colvin. I am Michelle's counterpart in the New England region, and she and I are both taking turns leading the way on these webinars, which we're holding daily. I am also happy to communicate with you via email. A lot of you already know me, so please feel free. And I'm happy to be here and help Michelle out today.
Thank you. Also joining us is Erica Kappa.
Good morning, everyone. As Michelle said, my name is Erica Kappa. I'm the Director of Support for Remax Integra North America. So I lead the team that provides support to our brokers and agents in the Ontario Atlantic region, as well as our North Central and Indiana regions and our New England regions. So I am here to help answer questions. As I know the platform's pretty in-depth as well as Michelle and Maureen. Thank you guys so much for having me on here. As we go through the questions and answers today, please, if you have questions and answers, put them in the question and answer box, not in the chat box. But as you have those questions, if you experience any technical issues, if a page isn't loading properly, if you can't access something, Unfortunately, that isn't something we're going to be able to look into on the webinar. I would ask that you go ahead and reach out to our support team. The best way to reach our support team is through maxhelpsyou.com. You can schedule phone calls with us, you can instant chat with us, or you can submit a ticket directly from there.
Thank you, Erica. And I will show a slide on that information again so that you all know exactly what the support protocol and channels are. So thanks, guys. So like they said, Maureen and Erica will be answering questions behind the scenes, so feel free to ask away. So we're going to share a series of slides, but we're going to be going live quite a bit in this session this morning. So we appreciate you being here with us. Grab your coffee, grab your breakfast, and let's go. So let's talk a little bit about booj and what it's involved. So on January 31st, that weekend, Remax.com, after several years of being hosted by Homes.com, made the transition over to the booj platform. For the first time ever, we have all of our websites, including Remax.com, all on the same platform. So it's going to make for a really seamless transition for leads, for sharing data. It's fantastic. So the CRM app, the CRM program of booj, we're going to cover first this morning. And there's also a mobile app to go with it. When you're looking up that mobile app on the App Store, Google Play Store, it's called the booj CRM app. There is not an app for the website separately, so you won't find that if you're looking for it. And then Remax.com, as we said, there's a new mobile app, a newly refreshed mobile app, which we'll talk about in just a moment later on in the website session. Okay, so once again, as Erica said, when it comes to support, we are here to help. Erica and her team are ready to go. They are right there to help you. There's a huge knowledge base on maxhelpsyou.com, a huge knowledge base in the sense that you may not even need to put in a ticket or contact them. You might find the answer to what you're looking for. It's not just booj. There's also help there for Design Center, for Remax.com, for all the Remax tools, Launchpad, everything else that's out there, okay? So take a look at maxhelpsyou.com, bookmark that on your Chrome. You can get to all of these features from Max Helps You, including tech support, as you can see here. So I just want to quickly mention, at sometime in April, you're all going to start getting on Tuesdays the weekly recharge email that Remax LLC sends out. There's a lot happening in booj. So what's fantastic about booj is that we own it. It's ours. There's lots of updates and releases and fixes and known issues and all kinds of things happening all at once, but you're going to stay up to date every Tuesday with the weekly recharge email. They will share the latest updates or future releases coming. They'll also share webinar schedules. Remax LLC is doing regular webinars, and they will also just share in general things going on in the world of Remax technology. So you'll be looking for that sometime in later April for you to start receiving the weekly recharge. Other things happening in Remax University, of course, they're putting content in there all the time. Remax LLC training team has been amazing to work with, and you can find all kinds of resources inside of there. One thing that you'll take note of is the blue question mark. It's in the bottom right-hand corner of your booj screen when you're in the program. What's great about this is it will give you a walkthrough guide on how to use and do certain features like import a contact or something like that. And then also there's a section where you can submit product feedback. So when we get live into the program, we can take a quick look at that. That's again, the great thing about having our own technology is that we will have direct line and access to the product developers to provide feedback. And that's huge, that's amazing. So just to let you guys know. So there's also a Remax group called Remax Tech and Tools. It's not monitored or managed by Remax Integra or Remax LLC, but it's all of your peers in the Remax network across the country that are using booj, and feel free to join that Facebook group to see what's going on out there and share. So on Remax University, so like I said, we're going to move at a very steady pace on this webinar. However, there's a lot of videos that are on Remax University that are dedicated to booj, and they're small bite-sized videos, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. And you can watch those and go back. Like if you missed the part, or you think maybe you want to just learn how to import contacts just really quick and you forgot. So log on to Remax University and you can find videos on virtually every feature of the program that's available today. Okay, so they're nicely categorized. You can see they're broken down by CRM website, so you can look at those. So just some really quick important points to know, and we've been getting questions on this. booj is optimized for Chrome. However, you can use it on Safari and Firefox. So I just want to make sure that's really clear. One thing we do know in training is that you cannot access all of your back-end features if you're using a tablet such as a Surface or an iPad. So also one thing that may happen for those of you that are Mac users, if you are downloading the import sample for contacts and you don't have Office on your Mac, the file will open up in a strange format, so you may need to get on a PC or some type of a laptop that has Office so that it can open up an Excel file. So just want to let you know that those are some of the things that we've been seeing out there in training. So on Mac Center profiles, we're going to get into in the website session, but in the past and currently we're still doing updates both in Launchpad and Mac Center on our profiles, but we really want you to all start moving towards doing all of that inside of Mac Center. And like I said, we'll go live and look at that. There's a button that we will show you how to get to, and a lot of you have gone through the setup wizard already, but the Lead Street import. So a lot of you have a lot of contacts still in Lead Street, and that's great, but what we do know that there's been a few glitches with it. It's working part of the time, not part of the time. We're working really hard with homes.com and booj to get that fixed, and we would ask that maybe you hold off until closer to the 31st of this month. So as you know, the big date we're shooting for is March 31st, when all the leads will be live in the booj platform. So some of the features aren't available yet, such as texting feature out of the booj CRM mobile app. You can use the mobile app for other things, but you just can't text out of it right now. Lead Street access will have technically until May 1st. However, the newsletter that just went out last week, I think it was, yes, March, that those of you had set up in your Lead Street account, that was the last week that it will go out. So that has been verified, but then you will have access and a grace period of the month of April to get anything else you need out of Lead Street. And broker owners, this is just a quick note, especially when we get to the website section. If you've not heard from the company called 73, which is the data warehouse for Remax LLC, on signing an IDX agreement for your office, please reach out to our support team to get assistance with that, because you do need to execute that in order for your agents to publish their websites. Okay. All right, so really quick, just want to mention where all the leads are coming from in the Remax system. So since 2006, we've had 22 million leads pass through Remax.com, which is crazy. And just so you know where all of that comes from, so Remax.com is a lead source. Also, Remax, the mobile app, is a lead source. So as you'll find in using that as well. Global.remax.com, this is how the world searches for real estate. Translated in over 40 different languages, talk about it in your listing presentation, but you can get leads from global. Remax.com is going through a little bit of a rebranding, Remax collection, I should say. As you see, they're now referencing it as remax.com/luxury, and it's also been known as Remax collection, but the luxury website can generate leads as well, which a lot of you have experienced. And then, of course, there is going to be the websites and everything else that's happening out there. All right, going to keep moving. So let's talk about Remax.com lead routing. So there's been some really good changes based on focus groups with brokers and agents. And really what it really comes down to, everyone, is that we need to really prioritize the consumer. We want the consumer to have a good experience. We want the consumer to have a choice in who they work with. And we want the consumer to get acknowledged right away. So the way the lead routing process is going to work on Remax.com is, first you have a lead from Remax.com. If they have the option when they register to choose a preferred buyer's agent. This is brand new as of January 31st. And what they're going to be able to do is to actually select one of you. So they will get a choice of agents in that local MLS of who they want to be working with. So you would be notified. The best thing about being a preferred buyer's agent is that you have the highest of hierarchies when it comes to viewing their lead activity. So inside the contact record, which we'll show you live here in just a moment, you'll be able to see all of their activity. So, and that's called a PBA. So we're getting used to some new terminology. So then you've got the assigned agent. The assigned agent is where you will become an assigned agent if you receive a lead on your own website, if the office assigns you a lead, and if you just happen to be the agent that received a brand new lead and you accepted that lead via text or email. So you become the assigned agent. It's not technically a preferred buyer's agent, but you have quite a bit of activity that you can see with that client, and you're now associated with that client. Then of course, as a listing agent, if someone's first time ever to Remax.com and does not have a PBA, then the leads will come directly to you that are your listings, okay? So that's how that works. And then of course there's gonna be just general zip code searches and non-Remax listings that leads will generate leads, and those will go to those of you that have signed up for those zip codes, just like in the past. So again, we're really looking to keep the focus and the power in lying that into the hands of the consumer. So they will have the opportunity to choose a preferred buyer's agent. So here's how it works. When they're going through the registration process, they actually can type in either first or last name of an agent, and then they have to click the box that says, I am working with a Remax agent. Then over to the far right, as you can see, once that name is populated, they can register. You would be notified, you would get the lead, and that they chose you. And of course, again, you're going to have all kinds of ability to see their activity as they maneuver around the Remax websites and the whole booj ecosystem. So that's how that works. All right, so the next thing is, we said, the assigned agent. You are going to become that you're going to have that relationship with that client because you've been assigned the lead. However, if the consumer does go into Remax.com and they do choose a preferred buyer's agent, that sort of leads the hierarchy. So that is over and above all of the other roles that you have. So as the listing agent, you'll get your own leads. Again, if they're a first-time visitor, or of course already associated with you as well. Now, just want to make clear something up. If a consumer goes to an agent office or team website outside of Remax.com, they can still connect with others. That's not tied, you're not automatically tied in from, because this is Remax.com. Keep in mind, your websites that are external will have their own lead routing process, but those leads and inquiries come directly to you if they do go to your website. And then of course, like we said, you're going to sign up for zip codes. We'll show you how to do that. There's 10. And unlike in the past, repeating won't make a difference. So you want to start thinking about getting more of a variety of zip codes. So Remax.com lead routing. So you have, just like before, you have 1 hour to accept the lead that comes in. And this is on your own listings even, everyone. So just want to make that really clear. Now, what is really different is that, and by the way, that's between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m., your local time zone. So Central Time Zone, and it's 8 to 10, Eastern Time Zone is 8 to 10 as well. So 1 hour. What's different is that if you miss that lead in that first hour, you get taken out of the lead pool, unfortunately, but then the lead will get re-offered to every 15 minutes to those of you that have signed up for the zip code. And I'll explain on the next slide who technically is part of that algorithm. But one of the things we are working through right now, working with LLC, is to identify what those leads look like as they come in. We're going to be working really hard the next couple of weeks. We're going to get screenshots. We're going to have more webinars towards the end of the month to let you know what to expect when we go live. But one of the things is like, what information comes over? What do you see? And I know you're all wondering, so as are we. So we're in the process of doing some testing and getting that together. So here's what Remax.com has now put in place. It's called round robin, which a lot of you have heard this term for many years. But what a true round robin process is once you get a lead, then you're not up for a lead until everyone else gets a lead. So you basically go to the back of the line. So how this works is, if a lead is declined or missed within 15 minutes or in a 15-minute increment, the lead will go to an agent who has gone the longest without receiving a lead. Then it will go to, and if that agent misses it, it'll go to the next longest that hasn't received a lead. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's a true round robin process, again, during the 8 to 10 time slot. So if leads come in outside of those hours, whoever the original offered agent of that lead is, they technically have till 8 a.m. the next morning to accept that lead. So just know that, that still gives plenty of time, and stay on top of those leads. So when it comes to lead eligibility, so you must have at least one zip code filled in your booj account, but we know we're all going to do 10, but at least one zip code is required. And then also you cannot miss 3 leads in a row. If you miss 3 leads in a row, your broker will have to re-enable you. So just the moral of the story is here, everyone, just don't miss leads. We want to make sure you get those. If you're too busy, refer it to someone else in the office, but keep that business in-house. Do we have any questions yet, Erica and Maureen?
We've just had a handful, but they've been answered very easily through chat.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, everyone. Keep them coming. All right, let's talk about your website, your specific agent website. So once you publish, once you're out there marketing this website, generating leads, there is a lead process. So what happens is the lead becomes an assigned lead to the owner of the website. So if you are a team leader, if you're an office, or if you are an agent. Now, office leads, those generated to office websites, those will follow whatever routing rules you have set up as an office. So broker owners, managers, we're going to do webinars on that too, and other tools and features that are coming. So the lead is assigned to you as the website owner. Again, preferred buyer's agent could have a little bit more could and will have more information than you, especially when it comes to Remax.com. So this is tied to your website. So you will get any lead that comes in on your website, regardless of the listing, who has the listing, regardless of who is a PBA and who is an assigned agent. So you can get leads from anywhere. They may have a PBA on Remax.com, but you can get the lead on your website. So just want to make sure that's clear. What happens is in the future, when you publish your website, when leads start coming in, they will go directly to your booj CRM. Now, if the person that went on your website does have a preferred buyer's agent, that preferred buyer's agent will be notified that you went on, their client went onto another agent's website and did some activity. Now, it won't show which agent it is, but it will show that that's happening. So if you are the PBA and you get that type of notification, maybe you want to check in with them. Now, be careful with it and don't say, hey, I saw you were looking at another agent's website. Don't do that. But what you should do is to let them know or just check in with them. How's it going? Want to see if you need anything. Just obviously be mindful of that and use that information wisely. All right, lead sources. So how do leads get into booj? So they get into, as we've already talked about, from websites, agent, office, team, multi-office. Also the mobile branded app. So when you are sending out the new branded mobile app, we'll talk about soon here in a second, when you're sending out leads from there, then when you're sending out that, the consumers are actually looking on your app and submitting inquiries, you'll get those leads as well. And it'll say lead source will be mobile branded app. Third-party sources, so lead parsers like Realtor.com, Zillow, we'll look at on the next slide. And there's more coming down the road, so your feedback is important in that area. And then of course from Remax.com. So right now, currently, you can actually bring leads directly into your booj CRM from Realtor.com, Zillow, and HomeSpotter. So we will show you when we go in the program where to find that, how to set that up. Basically, what you're doing is you're taking an email address that's assigned to you in booj, and you're plugging that into where you send leads to right now on both Zillow and Realtor.com and HomeSpotter. Lead acceptance. When you start getting leads through the booj CRM, you're going to see that the app will have in-app push notifications like we're all used to on everything else. You'll also have the email, the web, which will be, of course, on the desktop, and then text messages. So those are coming at the end of this month. So let's go live into the program and let's look at some of these things that are happening here. So I want to make mention that you can only get to the booj application inside a Mack Center. It is not available in Launchpad, and it never will be. So if you're in Launchpad trying to find it, I just want to make that disclaimer. So in Mack Center, you want to go to apps, or it may be on your home screen. And what you want to do is find the booj application. You may want to favorite it. So I'm going to favorite this and then click there. So now for some of you, if you happen to see a setup wizard, to save time, what I'd like you to do is to go to the bottom of the screen, accept, and just keep hitting next so that you can power through to get to where we are, because I want you to get inside of the program. Now, once you get inside of the program, if some of you have a blank dashboard, that is not an error. It just means that you could very well have not set up your widgets. So right here where it says edit widgets, if you click here, it's going to give you options to choose and set up your dashboard. So by default, you want to set that up. And this could be, especially when you start using booj a lot after the 31st of this month, this is a way to go in and see a snapshot of everything going on in your account. So you've got recent interactions, you've got what's going on with your contacts and leads. When you start using the deals and the calendar and all of those features, that's what this is here. So the default view always when you log into booj is the dashboard of the CRM, okay? So one of the things though, a lot of you have gone through the setup wizard. So what I'd like to do is to kind of walk you through some of those settings that you did initially. In the top right corner here, especially because you might need to get back to them, you want to go up here to this little circle, which is your picture, and then you want to click on settings. So if you want to use the calendar inside of booj, I want to make mention that the calendar only exists inside of the booj platform. In the future, we will have Google Calendar integration. We'll also have iCal and Outlook. So those are coming here very soon in the next 30, 60 days. It's coming, and we're excited about that, something we haven't had before. But you can use the calendar in the meantime, just like any other calendar. So that's under the general, and then if you go to default event notifications, this is also for calendar. But let's go to settings pages right here. And we're gonna kind of walk through some of these initial notifications and settings and things that you would have done already in the setup wizard, but just to get back to them. So let's click on contacts and leads. And let's kind of go through what's happening here on the left-hand side of the menu. So these are just like, what do you want to see when you first open up your dashboard? You can choose exactly what details of the contact record. Is it an overview? Does it include everything? So as you get to know the contact record, maybe you can make a better decision here, but that's what you can do. But under general, settings, contacts and leads in general, this is where you will find the lead street migration import feature. So as we mentioned earlier, maybe hold off on that until the 31st. Well, from our support team, we'll get verification that it's working. It was working. We've had some glitches. So if you can hold off, that would be great. Now you can go into Lead Street and do a manual export of your leads and save them in the meantime, if you'd like to do that. But this, when you click this button, the way it should work is that all the leads and your contacts will come over from Lead Street. And they'll show as a homes.com import is how they will show. So let's click right here where it says notifications. So we'll talk through some of this. Again, those of you that have the setup wizard, please power through, keep hitting next until you get to the dashboard, and you can follow along here. We're in the upper right corner, and we're in settings, and then we're in contacts and leads under the settings pages. So contacts and leads. So these are the notifications of all your lead activity. So probably not a bad idea to just have them all clicked and have them all selected. So text messages you're not getting yet, those will come the end of this month. One thing that's interesting here, look how it says contact or lead updated their PBA. So if someone goes on to Remax.com and they decide they're gonna work with another agent, or either way, they just make a change, you are going to be notified if you are the original PBA. So another situation where you might want to check in with that client, but maybe not tell them that you got this notification. So it's just a good way for you to see. So the system's kind of holding you accountable, right? And that's how that works. So the contact or lead deleted their account. So that might be something you might want to be interested in. And what this means is they deleted their account off of Remax.com. It does not remove them from your booj CRM, but another reason to check in and see what's going on with them. Maybe they just felt they were getting too many emails, or whatever the case is. Maybe you can just find out that they don't want to search themselves. They want you to search for them, but it's a good opportunity to reach out. So something else as far as leads getting assigned to you, if you're a team member, or if you are actually, if you're a team member or you're in your office and you get a lead assigned to you in the future, that'll happen. So that, and then of course, when you get your leads from your booj websites. Leads offered to you, that again, of course, will be when that first initial 1 hour acceptance period is happening, the lead has been offered to you. Import completed. So when you've actually done an import, like a manual import of contacts, then you get a notification that it has happened and that it's complete, and then an export will happen down the road. All right, so let's look at offered leads. We okay on questions so far?
Yep, we're doing well.
Awesome. All right, so let's look at offered leads. So this is where you would fill in your zip codes. So like we said before, you have to have at least one zip code in to be eligible for leads, but we encourage you to choose 10. Now in some of your smaller, more rural areas, some of you are thinking, well, I don't really have 10 to pick from. And in the past you repeated zip codes. Well, it doesn't, now the way the algorithms work is repeating zip codes will not make a difference. So sorry about that, but it won't. So everyone gets a fair shot, one zip code at a time. And if you are in a smaller area that doesn't have 10 zip codes, still reach out a little further. Maybe you won't drive there, but maybe you can get some referral opportunities out of it. Put a couple extra zip codes that might be just, like I said, a little farther out than you're used to. But give yourself that opportunity for residual income. So filters. This is kind of a trick question, everyone. So some of you in the initial setup wizard might have checked some boxes here, and I'm here to tell you you should not have. The reason is because it says check boxes for the type of leads you do not want to receive. So what you're doing is you're limiting yourself on getting certain types of leads if you do check anything here. I mean, unless you're totally opposed to any of these types of leads, there would be no reason, I don't think, why you would want to turn that off. So keep it open. Don't check any boxes here. Again, it's kind of a trick question. So fill in your text number, your cell phone number here for text notifications. You do not have to put in your wireless carrier. So tags, let's move down the tags list right here. So tags are categories, everyone. So all of your CRMs and all of your database management programs you've had in the past, you've had the opportunity to set up categories. Buyer, seller, preferred partner, whatever it is, right? So this is the main section for tags that you can set up. The system has assigned some by default. So those of the ones that are in gray, you will see are in here. And those are put in way back when booj first started unveiling itself in all the other regions. And then you'll see you'll actually be able to add some of your own, and you can color code them. Now, so all I want to do here in this section, if I want to add a category, let's say that one of the things is preferred partner or vendor. I'm going to add a tag, and this is going to be preferred partner. And then I'm going to give it a color. And right now they're already getting a lot of requests for different colors, but let's just choose red, and we're going to go here. So then you'll have all those different colors, and see, I just added my preferred partner. Now what I've done is any contact that I enter into my system from here on out, this will be a tag that I can choose for that particular contact. When I get into the contacts here in just a second, I'm going to show you that you can add a tag right there when you're entering a contact. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. Custom fields. So what would be a custom field that you want to add? So I'm going to delete this one because I want to show you this as an example. So a custom field, so for those of you that have used some pretty robust contact management systems out there, you can customize what fields show on a contact record. In other words, what do you want to know about this person? So one of the examples I have here is kids' names. So you could also have hobbies or pets' names for all the dog and cat lovers out there. But let me show you what this means if you want to add. Here's another example. If you add a custom field, let's talk about one. So you've got the opportunity, if you do text input, that means the person has to type a name in or type words in. So whether it's kids' names or pets' names or whatever, they will do that. A number, if necessary, a date picker. So maybe this is a special date. Maybe it's their wedding anniversary. I know we talk a lot about home anniversary and birthdays and everything else, but maybe you want to put their wedding anniversary in here and you can just choose the date. And then drop down. So this one might be something of interest to you. How about their timing? Like when are they actually going to move or make a decision? So when I hit next, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start adding my choices. So 0 to 30 days. I'm going to add another one. It's going to be 30 to 60. 30 to 60 days. Okay. Add another one. Let's do 60 to 90. And I'll show you this when we get inside the contact record, how you can just choose it inside of there. And then we'll do 90 plus. And there we go. All right, so then I'm going to save it. And now on every contact record that's in my system, it'll have these two custom fields as an option. As you can see, 12 can be added. I'm not aware of any plans to add more, but this should give you a good idea on what you might want to use custom fields for. Let's choose integrations. So integrations, this is where the future Gmail and Outlook and iCloud contact syncs will be available. So that'll be a great thing. So not only calendars, but contacts, and our fingers are crossed. It's going to happen here pretty soon in the next 45 days, if not sooner, but just want to let you know that that is yet to come and we're pretty excited about it. All right, before I move out of these settings, any questions on contacts and leads settings? Okay. All right, let's keep moving. So contacts and leads right here. So on the contacts and leads, this section right here is going to be Command Central for all of your contacts, which is great. So remember in that previous view though, you could actually set up by default what you want to actually show when you open your dashboard for contacts and leads. So make a note to maybe go back to that, and then you can see you might have a different view than what I'm showing here. So one of the things you can do is there's obviously the search features that are available. You can just type in a person's name. I only have 3 people here, so not super difficult for me, but a lot of you are going to have thousands of people in here. You can just search by last name, by first name, or whatever fields. So one of the things you can do is you click where it says manage filters. What else do you want to be able to search by? Well, tags. Tags is important. So if we choose tags, now that's an opportunity for me to search by all of my tags in my database. And then let's see what else is in here. So you can go through, oh, there we go, how much money I'm going to make off of them. Let's choose that one. And then birthdays and all of that. So really take some time to play around with that and get used to that. So then of course you can reset if you just want to start over. So one of the questions we get a lot is about leads versus contacts. So when a lead first goes into your platform, primarily from the online sources like Remax.com, and coming through there, hey Erica, have we verified if Realtor.com and Zillow parse leads come in as leads or contacts?
They will come in as contacts.
Contacts, okay. So just so everyone knows, a lead, the way that this is defined, when a lead comes into the system, it's basically brand new. The system feels that you need to take the effort to follow up with that person and then qualify them for them to become a contact. A contact is considered someone you're already working with, someone that is actually, some viable, qualified, and all of that. So that's kind of the best way to explain it, the simplest way to explain it. So, and I know some of you have asked about bringing things in as contacts versus leads, et cetera, or vice versa. But right now, that's the default way, the way the system is set up. So if you click on leads, this would show anything that's new that you've not yet converted to a contact. And again, Remax.com leads will come in that way, and your website leads will come in that way. So, and if you click on contacts, this is people that the system assumes I'm already working with. So that's how that works. All right, so what I want everyone to do, if you're following along, is just for practice, let's enter a contact. And let's click right here where it says add or import and then add individual. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about importing a list, and then we'll go back to the contact record and kind of walk through that a little bit. So under the add contact, you're going to have to do this a lot. So you're going to have phone calls off your signs. You're going to have open houses, walk-ins or floor time, although virtual floor time during these times. And you're going to have you'll meet people. And you want to put their information in here. Everybody that you meet should go in your database. So you're just going to put a person in here. So we're actually going to do, let's do George Clooney, my client. And oh, we need to put his last name over here. So let's just put a celebrity name in, put your name in, put a fake name in. It really doesn't matter. We're just practicing. So see how this is, it's considered a contact. Now I can choose it as a lead. So it's up to me when I'm manually entering how I want to do this. And maybe this is someone I just met briefly in a very quick encounter at Starbucks or someplace like that. I want to make this a lead because then I know I need to start working with this person. Now the tag, so this could be how you met them, where they came from. So this could be open house, this could be walk-in, floor time. So I've got some of them in here already. So let's see, I've got open house, but when you can add one or you can choose one that you've already got in here. So let's say this one was a golf outing. I met this person, I think George Clooney golfs, I'm not sure. So anyway, golf outing, and look what you do, you hit enter, and then that means that I met them at my charity golf outing or whatever the place is. Enter their information. I'm just going to make up a number here. And then I'm going to choose mobile. If you choose this category other, it's going to ask you to put in a custom label. So maybe it's like their work number or their work cell or something like that. You would have to put in a custom label. So email address. Put in an email address for them. No idea what George Clooney's email address is, but I'll just do it like this. Right? And I'm just going to click add. So you see how easy it is, and you'll be able to do this from mobile, from desktop. And for those of you that are administrators or managers in the office, this would be a good way for those phone calls to get entered into maybe the office account, then you can assign them to an agent. So I just want to make sure you know how that works. Let's talk a little bit about importing a list. So if you go over here to the top right corner and you click right here and you click import list, then there's a couple things happening here. So there are some CRMs that are compatible with booj that you can actually do an automatic import of, and that's Boomtown, Chime, and Follow Up Boss. There is going to be future integration with BombBomb, Top Producer, and others. So stay tuned for that, but these are the ones that are here initially. What you want to do though, so let's say you want to import your own list. This is, you extracted all your contacts from the MLS, from the back end, and you want to put them in here. You want to put in your top producer contacts instead of waiting for the integration. You want to pull from your Gmail contacts instead of waiting. That's fine. So you're going to pull those contacts and put them into a CSV file. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put it on your desktop, of course, and then you would import it here. But what you want to do though is, first of all, it has to be a CSV file. And if you really want to make it work really super seamless, what you want to do is click on under download our template. This is the preferred and recommended template to import your contacts into. So this is actually right here. So what you can see is all these columns. Now do not delete or change any of these column headers. You can remove the sample text that's inside of here, of course. So some of the things that you can put in, you may want to copy and paste from other platforms. We get a lot of questions about, can I import contacts? Yesterday's session, can I import contacts all under the same label or tag? And the answer is yes, because you can actually put those tags, like say I wanted to import 20 people and they're all from my golf outing, I can actually now tag them all with golf outing. And then when I import them, the system will recognize that and put them all in as that same tag. So that'll save you a lot of time and efforts if you do it that way. So Erica, would you mind talking through, if you bring a CSV file in from another platform that's not this template, how that works?
Absolutely. So if you are not going to use the template that is available within booj, then that is going to make it a little bit harder to carry over any tags that you already have created in another CRM. So if you are going to be carrying over tags from another CRM, we highly encourage you to use the template that is already available within booj. Now, if you have a CRM and you don't have tags created, most people within LeadStree I don't think have used the tags much in there. So this would be great for them. You just export your CSV file from that CRM, and then you'll be able to import it into booj. When you're doing the import process, it will have you manually map the categories to make sure that all the columns match. And it will even show a brief example on the right-hand side with data that is actually in your CSV file to make sure that you have those column headers lined up the way that you want them to, so they will display properly in booj. Now, anything that is available in a column on your CSV file that isn't available in the booj contact field, you can mark that to carry over to the notes section so that you don't lose any of the data that is in there.
Great. So Erica will have, do you have a knowledge base article on that already?
We're actually in the process of creating them right now.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so reach out to support. Thank you. So it's not impossible to import from others, but again, it does need to be a CSV file, so that there's no exceptions, not an Excel file or any other type. But just know that the system's pretty intuitive and it should help you map some of those fields and categories. And again, a best practice is to use the import sample, and that'll be good too. So before I forget, I want to actually make note of this blue question mark down here at the bottom. That'll be super helpful to you throughout this entire journey with booj. This is where you can go to the Resource Center. Now it's going to show you like how-to guides right here. This is a brand new tool. It's called Pendo, where it's going to walk you through how to do something in the system. So if you click right here where it says add a deal to a contact or adding a tag to a contact. So when you click, look what happens. This little window here is going to walk you through the process. So I'm going to click here. And then now it's telling me what to do. Hey, isn't that great? This is the one time you want to be told what to do. So now the next thing is it's telling me the next step. So like I said, it's called Pendo. It's a tool that's used to help walk you through and support you and the product. So it's pretty cool. The other thing inside of here is the suggestions and support. Remember that I mentioned, so product suggestions and enhancements. So you get the opportunity to rate the difficulty level of that, difficult, easy, whatever you want to put in here. But when you click submit feedback, it now gives you a window where you can type something in, a product suggestion. And now, hey, I'm going to be honest, it's not that they're going to turn around tomorrow and change everything, but they are listening. And some of these things may already be on the roadmap that you're suggesting. They are in the process of prioritizing right now. There's some pretty big things that they're working on that need to be released. And but again, I just want you to know you have a voice. So we're going to click here and exit out of there. So take some time to
Hey, Michelle.
Uh-huh.
Real quick, we have a couple of questions coming in asking if you can show them again where the template is located for the import.
Sure, absolutely. So you want to be inside of contacts and leads, and then you want to click up here where it says add or import. Then you want to go to import list, and this box will pop up. Now make sure your pop-up blockers are disabled on booj. I ran into that myself when I first started using it, so you can see this. And then what you want to do is click this blue link right here where it says download our template, and it will drop it into your downloads. And then that's the format that you might want to use. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, sounds good. So let's go inside of a contact record and let's just kind of see what information is available or what information you want to have available. So, I'm going to go in here, and I thought I entered George Clooney. Where'd he go? Oh, because he's a lead. There he is. I was like, what happened? So, all right. So as you can see, you need to toggle back and forth between leads and contacts, but you can choose any person in your database, or if you entered yourself, it's really fine. But I'm going to go ahead and just click and open up one of my contacts that are here. So it's a really robust activity and detail record here for this contact, for all of your contacts. So some new things to get used to is the lead score. You're not going to see a lot happening here until we start getting leads. And so I would say like in the next 90 days, it's going to be pretty exciting. We're going to see all this intelligence. And what a lead score is how much you are interacting with that client or how much activity that they're doing on their own. So the system will assign a lead score based on all of that. So obviously the more activity, the better, and the higher the lead score is what's going to be happening. So those of you that love stats and figures are going to love that. You can enter their picture. See, this has a tag. I entered it as a walk-in into the office. And then you, of course, can add additional tags. So let's say that I determine that this person, not only are they a walk-in, but they are a buyer. So then I can add another tag and I'm good to go. So again, the system default tags are all gray, and the new ones that you add on your own, you can choose colors for. So one of the things that you'll need to think about and to start doing differently is to use the booj CRM mobile app to interact with your clients. Call them, email them, text them when that's available. And the reason I say that is everything you do inside of the booj CRM mobile app is going to be real time and read and logged right here into the contact record. Now it's going to take some time for you to get used to that. So you're all going to still pick up your phone. You're going to call directly from the phone icon. You're going to text from the texting icon. And that's fine if you want to do that. If you want to continue to do that, but you still want to log the activity, it's going to create a little extra work for you. So, but let's say that you want to do this and you forgot, and it will happen. So you call the client, then you get to your location and you just realize you didn't log that call. You didn't use the CRM app to call them. So what you can do is go up here to the top right corner and you can click right here where it says log. And then what you want to do is you can log the call. So if I click here, okay, I made a call today at this time, and you could just say discussed whatever, price reduction or making an offer, discuss offer process. So I'm going to log this in here, log the call. So now this is logged as an activity on this particular client, and it's deeming it a high priority, which may not be the case every time. But look, it also logged it as a recent interaction. So you have the opportunity to go in and still be organized and still keep track. And this is a great time, especially if, like I said, if you're at home for this unprecedented time, to really work on this. So another thing you can do is that we had in the past, some of you might remember Lead Street from the Reliance platform way back when, we had the ability to transfer a contact to someone else in your region. So if you did a referral, okay, you now have the ability up here on where it says actions to send a contact record to any Remax agent in the entire US. You all work really hard, you get referrals, you have those relationships. There's a couple different ways to do it. If you send it, you're literally going to send it out of your database and into theirs, and you'll never see it again. So the share button will be where you share the contact record with them. So the share button will be, you can share it to that person, and you can also keep it in your database in case they ever come back, right? So, and then this is also where you would go to delete a contact record. Hopefully you don't have to do that unless your duplicates are coming through. So you can, of course, email a client directly from their record. That's something you can do too. So this is sort of the default view of the dashboard. Remember, we were looking at those settings earlier, like what do you want to see when you first open it up? Or you can work your way down this side menu. So let's talk about deals. So deals is a brand new feature that we have right here inside of the booj CRM, something we haven't had before in the Remax provided systems. So deals is exactly what you think it is. You can actually manage your transactions inside of this account. So you will have the ability to actually integrate .loop, Docusign, and ZipLogix, and I'll show you where to get to those in a sec. And so, but under deals this is where you can actually set up your buy and sell side deals and really keep track and stay organized and ultimately use booj all for one platform, like a one-stop shop. So under deals, so I've already got a sample here that I did before. So this person is a buyer, but what you're going to do is you want to click on add deal. Now we're inside the contact record, which is probably the easiest way to do this. Open up the contact record and then create a deal. And let's say that this person is selling. So this will be a list side deal. And then we're actually going to put their property address, 345 Elm Street. And then let's say that they have a pending offer, or let's say that they accepted an offer and the deal's pending. So we're going to put the price that was agreed upon. Just make one up. And look what the system will do too. It's going to keep track of my gross commission income based on whatever commission percentage that I'm inputting in here, or it could be a flat rate or whatever it is, but we don't, yeah, it's mostly percentage. Let's choose the closing date. And let's go to, let's say March 31st. And then this is the primary participant is the contact. So under additional participants, this could be any other contact record that's affiliated with this deal. So it could be a co-borrower. It could also be a lender. It could be an appraiser, and you just want to link everybody to that deal. Now those people won't be notified. They won't see any of this. This is all for you to stay organized. So we're going to do add deal. And this is how it's going to appear. So there it is. I've actually got two. So this will happen a lot. You'll have your list and buy side deals that you'll have pending here or active in a client record. All right. So that's how that works. And then, like I said, you'll be able to go into the deals overall section, track your GCI, and you'll be good to go. Details. Now, if you're wondering, like, how do I see the address or the email address or other type of phone numbers or things like that with a client record, it's under the details section. So what you want to do is, now, by the way, look at this. You can print the contact info. Some of you like paper, so if you really want to print it, you can do it here too. So here's the mobile number and all of that. You can obviously go in and add numbers, add email addresses as needed. Social media profiles. So you can actually go in here. You can actually grab the URL of their Facebook profile or Instagram or Twitter. You choose the network that you're providing it from. And when you actually put it in there, it will populate with a little icon for that social platform. And it shows up right here. So here's what's great about it. Let's say that you get a notification in booj that it's their wedding anniversary because you set it up as a custom field or whatever you did, or on your calendar, or home anniversary. So you get a notification that it's something, you have to do something. Go right into their record, click right on their Facebook profile, and then wish them a happy home anniversary right there directly onto their profile, and it just makes it really easy. So that's a good example of when it will really work for you. Okay, preferences and marketing, that's important, isn't it? People want to be contacted a certain way, a certain time of the day. So you have the ability to now go in here and do this. Next, we're going to keep moving. Here's those custom fields. Remember the kids' names I put in, you just click on this and it'll give you the opportunity to type those names in. And then right here where it says timing, remember I chose the one with the drop down. Now it says timing, and I talked to this client and they're about 30 to 60 days out. So now I'm going to click save. So there we go. So now I have the opportunity to see that. And then again, I can manage, this will take me back into custom fields. I can edit, I can also add more. And remember, you can do up to 12. Statuses, so this has to do with particularly sort of the way you're grading them or rating them. A lot of you are used to this, the hot, warm, cold leads and how you want to do that. So you can use this section for that. Connections, so let's say that this is, first of all, a best practice still is to enter, if there's more than one person involved on the transaction, it's still a best practice to enter them both as separate contact records. And then you can actually add that person as a connection. You'll just need to type that person in. You can also associate preferred partners with this particular client. So I'm going to keep moving unless there's any questions. So you can create a household. So a household can be virtually a combination of contacts that you put together. There's really good videos on Remax University on how to use the household. So I want you to take note to watch that. But this is where you can combine several individuals. Maureen used a great example yesterday about having, for those that are about to become empty nesters, they're associated with their adult children, and then their adult children move out and get their own home that you help them with, and then you split up the household. So, but that's an example of what a household could be. Listings. So their listing manager is coming in the next next few weeks is our hopes. So listing manager is going to be a great tool, and future seller reports and things like that, which we're all used to. So you'll be able to have listings that are associated with those clients, and then listings up here at the top will have the full listing manager. So anything associated with them here. Notes, just like any contact record, you want to be able to go in here and add notes. When you're using the mobile CRM app, you should definitely talk those notes into the fields, and they will show up here real time. So, or you can just go right here and add one manually, enter the note. For those of you that are licensed assistants at this time, you do not have your own login for booj. So if you are doing things on behalf of a team leader, broker owner, or another agent, then you can go ahead and enter the note, and you may want to just put your initials after what it is that you wrote so that you can all keep track of who's entering notes. So just a quick little tip. All right, user activity. So this is where, if you are the PBA, this is where it all comes into play. So if you are the PBA, you are going to be able to see what they're viewing. You're going to be able to see favorites. You're going to see where they're searching, how often they're searching, and all of that. So it's really fantastic. So there is a future feature coming, market snapshots, or it's similar to CMAs, and that's going to be exciting. So that'll be later on, second quarter. But in case you're wondering what that is, we get a lot of questions on that. But you're going to be able to see what's happening with all their searches and everything that they're doing. Okay. So now, of course, like we said before, if they, for some reason, they delete their account off Remax.com, that does affect this whole dashboard right here, but you will be able to see everything that is going on and recently and when it happened. So let's go under history. So the history is everything that's happened on this account. So you get busy, and then you stop for a minute in a moment of panic, and you think, uh-oh, I was supposed to call this person. I can't remember if I called them. Did I call them? So you could actually go into the history of a client record, and you'll see, oh, I did make that phone call, because hey, we know how it is out there. It's crazy busy. So, and you can see, did I send that email to the appraiser? Did I do whatever? So that's why having booj as the CRM is really going to help you a lot to just log those activities and also have reference points when you're talking to your clients. Marketing. So when drip campaigns are available, which is coming up here in the next few weeks, you'll be able to see any marketing that you're doing to this particular client. Inbox. So the inbox is important because this is where information will come in that's very valuable. If a form is filled out, you should make sure you're notified of that. What that is when someone goes on Remax.com or even your own website and they fill out the box that comes, like a lot of times it'll say questions, comments, or whatever, or they submit just their name. So if they actually took the time to fill out the box, then you 100% should consider that a good lead. So see what questions they asked. You can actually go into the inbox. You can see the form. So the form, it would show up here if they fill out a form on the websites, or if they actually email you by coming into by using the booj mobile app, emailing you back and forth. And then ultimately in the future, you'll have text message exchanges that will be in here too. So this is a good feature to use and will be tied to the mobile CRM. All right. So we are moving at a really good pace. And what we have here are so we're moving along. We did contacts and leads. I'll come back to deals, but let's go to campaigns. Are there any questions, Erica or Maureen, about the contact records or what we've been doing so far?
No, so far it's pretty good.
Okay, awesome. So click on campaigns with me. Let's talk a little bit about this. So at this time, you can only do single sends with the templates that are provided. So here at the end of the month, booj is working really hard to make sure that you have drip campaigns available to you. So we'll be seeing that very, very soon. And again, we'll have more webinars. So we're going to announce pretty soon new webinar schedules to unveil that and talk about that and help you through that. So again, you can do a single send campaign. So if you want to, you can add a campaign, like this is one person I want to send it to. You can add a campaign right here by choosing just a single one-off, and you can name it whatever you want to, and you want to choose build campaign. So this is going to give you the option to select a template. Now there are templates already here in the library, and by the way, it takes a few minutes to load. So when you start seeing this, you're going to go here. So now I have 5 results per page, but if I want to make this bigger, I'm going to go 25 results, and it'll show more. So I'm thinking, oh, I know this person's having an anniversary. So, but I can preview it by choosing this. And this will give me an option to see what this looks like as it loads. And there's my happy anniversary. And then it does show you what your signature would look like as well. So we're in the process of doing that. So we choose a template. Well, St. Patty's Day is over. Hard to believe that came and went so fast. So we won't be using that, but let's just choose right here where it says use this template. And this will load for us. And now this is very similar to the websites. You can actually go in and do some editing if you want to, or you can just do save and continue. So you're gonna have some time to play around with this. So now this is ready to go. And now I need to choose a recipient. Now that person has to be a contact record in my booj CRM. So you can't use this feature directly like this without that information. And when do you want to send it? Here's what's really cool. You'll be able to schedule in advance. Let's say you have some downtime today and you know someone has an anniversary coming up Saturday and you're going to be out showing homes that day. Schedule in advance so that it goes out first thing on Saturday. So great videos available on campaigns on Remax University. So let's go back to campaigns again, and let's just quickly look where it says recurring. So right now, this is not the recurring, or the drip campaigns will be available at the end of the month. So you will have the ability to do that. Maybe it's just one person where you set up certain messaging or templates recurring. So there's going to be some work involved if you want to do custom, but I think a lot of you are really excited about it. Important dates. So drips, so like we said, those are coming. The newsletter is also in the works, so we hope to see that real soon. Recipient list, so you can actually set up a whole group of list of people to get certain messages, and this could be, surrounding an event or a golf outing, like we said. If you want to just look at all the templates, they're here, and like I said, change your default view to show whether it's 5 at a time or 25 at a time, and or 10 at a time, whatever you want to do. And there they go. So I've got 10 at a time showing here, and I can see everything that's available. All right, unless there's any questions, I'm going to move on, but that's what's happening with the campaigns. One last thing is to take note of this top toolbar here. We're going to click right here where there's a calendar icon, and we're going to click View Calendar. Again, if you want to use the calendar that's inside of booj, this is where you can set up appointments, events, reminders for yourself. It's all going to live and exist inside of booj until we get the Google Calendar integration in the near future. You can add an event, client appreciation event. You can give it a color, so then you're color coded on all of that. Let's talk about tasks. This is, you can add a task attached to your calendar, or you can go up here to the plus button and you can add a task. So now you have the ability to set up a really nice to-do list for yourself. Excuse me, a task can be associated with an actual contact record. So maybe you have to call a person at a certain date or time. You can set up a task related to a deal. So maybe you need to schedule a home inspection, or you need to, it could be associated with personal tasks. So you need to order business cards, for instance. So all that, excuse me, can be tied to that. So let's enter this. Let's just say it is our personal task. Or actually, let's do one on a contact. So we'll say I need to make a phone call to a certain client, and I need to do it by, I promised my client I'd call him Friday, and it's going to be assigned to me. If you're part of a team, you can assign a task to a team leader, or excuse me, team member, and this is attached to a contact. When you choose contact, now it's going to give you the option, you have to type the person's name in. So I'm going to give this, I have to call Mickey Mouse and to discuss price reduction. Ooh, we don't like making those phone calls. All right, so add task. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the priority in. So let's say this is a high priority, and now I'm good to go. Okay, so that's how you do a task. Now something else you can do is a task plan. And you can get to that. So if you go to the settings section here and you go to settings, by the way, any questions?
No, we're doing good so far.
Okay, settings and settings pages again. You want to click over here where it says tasks. And then you can actually set up a task list based upon a certain checklist that you do on every deal, every seller deal, I do this, every buyer deal, I do this. Check out the videos on Remax University on how to do that. And you can create a whole checklist for yourself. There could even be one for a new lead. The last thing I'm going to show you before we get into the websites is if you go to settings, you go to settings pages, then you click on system. You are now going to go to where it says integrations. This is where you would enter, or you would actually set up your lead parsers for leads from Realtor.com and Zillow to come into your account. So that's what's really great. So what you need to do is, so we'll just do this as an example. So Realtor.com, here's what you need to do. You need to take this email address, copy it, or use this icon and paste it into that lead source. So like Realtor.com, when you log into your profile, copy this email address that you're seeing on booj into the form where it says, where do you want leads to be sent to? And that's actually what would be happening. So you would put that in there. And then finally, transaction management. So on Docusign, .loop, and zip forms. So if you set this up, so I want to make a disclaimer here. We do not have access to these tools. We will not be training on these tools. We don't know how to use these tools the way that you do, but you will be able to contact each of these companies, Docusign, .loop, or ZipLogix directly. Let them know you're with Remax, you're trying to connect booj. If you run into any concerns or challenges there, so you would just click on whichever one is your choice. And now it's going to obviously ask you to log into your account. So, and I'm not going to do that, but you will. So I know there were a few glitches with the Docusign integration, but I just wanted to make mention of that. There is support. If you do run into any issues, of course, you can always reach out to our support team and they can get you the answers that you need. And finally, under here, where it's under settings, if you want to go to, I guess the last thing is under campaigns. So this is where future campaigns will be under notices to send from. You can also go to notifications, and there's just different things that you'll be doing with campaigns when the time comes. Any questions on CRM before we move on to websites? Trying to pay attention to
We just got a couple of questions. Stacy has asked, can you show again how to integrate booj with Realtor.com and Zillow?
Absolutely.
So you can just show them where they can go to follow those steps.
Yes, it is. We get that question a lot. So go to the top right corner where there's a silhouette, and then you want to click on settings. Then what you want to do is click on where it says settings pages, and then you want to click where it says system. Then the next thing is you click where it says integrations, and that will get you to this spot. And then once again, you just choose the lead parser that you want to bring into booj, whether it's Zillow or Realtor.com, and it gives you all the instructions on what you need to do on that particular platform. And there are videos on Remax University about these as well. There's videos on virtually everything on Remax University. That'll break it down in small pieces so you don't have to watch a 2-hour webinar.
And we just had another great question asked. How do you cancel a reoccurring event in the calendar? When I click on delete or update something, it only does it for that event and not all in the group.
So I would have to see on a calendar. So can you repeat that first part again?
Yes. So how do you cancel a reoccurring event in the calendar? When I click on delete or update something, it only does it for that event and not all in the group.
So it's not giving you the option to cancel it for all. I would say we'll have to look into that for you. I have not used that example as of yet. So that might be a glitch, because I know you're all used to that on Google Calendar and Outlook, where if you cancel, you can cancel the entire series versus just one occurrence. So can we look into that for them, Erica?
Absolutely. That should be an option on there. So if it's not, then we do need to look into that.
Yeah, without recreating the exact situation, I would need to see it. But thank you for asking. That's good to know. What else?
And then Steve just asked, can you connect Docusign and Zip forms at the same time?
Ooh, that I don't know. We are still, so in our new webinars we'll have at the end of this month, we're going to gather a lot more information about these paperless platforms. And my understanding is only one at a time, but I don't know that that couldn't be done in the future. So good for you that you have both. I think a lot of you probably do, because you have one system available through MLS and then you have one through the office. That's a good question. Let's write that one down too. Okay. So hopefully that gives you a pretty good idea what to do with the CRM. You know, make sure you downloaded the booj CRM mobile app. It's important that your activities and your behaviors are happening in there if you really want to log things and not have to take the extra time to do it manually. More importantly, for the lead score, as we start getting lead scores, that'll be really good. So thanks for.
Hey, Michelle. I'm sorry, we've got the exact same question from about 4 or 5 different people real quick. So if you could touch on this real quick, what benefits come from connecting your transaction management tool to booj?
So that is a really good question. What it's ultimately going to do is it's going to put your data from those platforms already in, it's going to associate it with that contact record, and you're going to have to do a lot less manual entry. So it makes it seamless, it makes it easy. It's just like if you're parsing your leads in, it's going to be this similar approach. And there's that integration. So now you want to make sure that the platform that you're using, Docusign or ZipLogix or .loop, are in a good order. You have all good data and information in there, because obviously it's only as good as the information you put in before you make that connection. And it's still pretty new. So like I said, we haven't had we've heard from some of you out there, there's been a few glitches and issues with it. So we're kind of working through it with you, but there's definite benefits to have that sync of information. That the information will come over, it'll parse over just like a lead from that paperless form or transaction platform into the booj account. So it's kind of a general answer. We still have a lot of ways to go to really start using and diving into the program and see how that works. So yeah, there's definite benefits. There's the answer. Anything else? Okay.
Nope, that was it.
All right, thank you. Well, hopefully that was good. You know, pay attention to this top toolbar. The check marks show you the tasks that you have overdue, holds you accountable, or what's coming up, or what's due in the next certain time frame. Notifications are going to be, you're going to get those via other ways and other methods, but this will show you everything that's going on in your account. And there you go. Lots more to come on CRM. We can't wait. So let's move over to the website platform. I just want to cover a couple things on the slides, and we will be good to go. So we just went through all of this. Let's get through this and we'll get straight to the websites. Oh, by the way, everyone, here's those mapping features that Erica was talking about when it comes to importing a list into the CRM. And you'll get a copy of these. So, all right, let's get into websites and we'll be in good shape. So the websites for booj. Now this is where we get a lot of questions about, well, what is this bio page I have on Remax.com, and what's this website I have, and what is all of this? So, and trust me, we know it can be really confusing, but the websites we're gonna really focus on next are the standalone multiple page websites that you're going to have available, and you have available to you now as an individual agent, an office, and a team leader and team member. So these are websites that you can add a domain to on March 31st. You can mark it as a standalone. You can really go custom with it and make it yours. So it's like your storefront, your virtual storefront. So this is your website. And I know it's been a long time coming, so we're super excited. So these websites are mobile responsive. The best advice I can give you as we go into this is to really not overcomplicate your pages. I know we have the tendency to want to get really creative and put a whole bunch of content on each page, but sometimes less is more. And you might be okay with the content that's provided and then just adding some of the basics to what's already there. So we want to keep it simple. We want you to keep it simple. And we know some of you are thinking, well, I'm a real estate pro, I'm not a web developer, and I don't want to spend time, hours and hours developing a website. We don't want that either. But we will show you that there is some already provided content, and you at least have a starting place. It's not as though you have a blank template and you have to build from scratch. So there's already things there. but it is mobile responsive. And when you're building your website, I want you to keep in mind the mobile experience, okay? So off to the far right here, as you can see, when someone goes to your website on either iPad or a phone or a tablet, it will be just as good as if they're on desktop, and it just adjusts as needed. So just really quick, important points to know. So a lot of you are doing this a lot where you're testing things, you're creating things, and you keep seeing error messages. Chrome is really particular and finicky when it comes to remembering old things. So just remember to clear your browser cache if you're seeing error messages before you put in a ticket. In fact, when you put in a ticket, our support team may tell you clear your cache. You're just seeing some old errors. So sometimes that will happen. We'll help you work through it. If you're going to test things and look at things as a consumer would, it's always best to do an incognito window in Chrome, which we ultimately have. We use that as well to get into the system. So your Mack Center profile, I'm going to show you really quick when we go in that we need to update the Mack Center profile. That's the information that feeds over to your website, also the referral directory for the Remax network, and that's where everything's going to live. You cannot assign a custom domain to your website until after March 31st. That's going to be a really big day for us. And I know you're all thinking, great, that's end of the month closings, but it's a big day, and we'll do webinars to help you get ready for that. But what that means is you can't assign it, but you could technically redirect or forward today if you really want to publish your website this week. That's entirely up to you. We're going to ask if you can to hold off and make it easy on yourself and do it just once. So Lead Street Access, as we mentioned, will end at the end of April, and we will keep you posted so you get a grace period. But your leads from Lead Street will stop coming from Remax.com on March 31st. So right now, the next couple of weeks, you still have to kind of go back and forth between booj and Lead Street. So thanks for hanging in there with us. Support, again, when it comes to IDX agreements, once again, I just want to reiterate to broker owner managers on this webinar that if you have not received an email from 73, the data warehouse from Remax.com, Remax LLC, about signing an IDX agreement, please reach out to support. We need to get you to do that right away so that everyone's ready to publish on March 31st. And you know the support channels, Max helps you. So let's talk about these bio pages. So the bio pages, Remax.com is it's a huge website, right? This is a consumer facing website, and agents can be searched on an agent roster. So you can all be found when a consumer searches for agents. And what they're gonna find is a profile page for you, and we're calling those bio pages. So this is, it's no longer a spa page like we all got used to the Lead Street terms, but it's a bio page. So it's going to feature your information, your story, and a little bit about you. And that exists, a bio page exists for an office, for multi-offices, teams, as well as agents and team members. So a sample bio page will look like this. If you haven't done so already, search for yourself on Remax.com on the agent roster and see what's showing here. In fact, you should, because if there's information not here that you want to show, you'll need to get into Mack Center and update your profile. So on this particular section, as you can see, a photo, specialties, this link right here where it says my website should essentially direct consumers out to Michelle's standalone booj website. So that's separate from the bio page. Again, we are currently on Remax.com on a bio page for an agent, but if I want to take them to my website and show them a lot more details about the area and everything else, then you can set up the hyperlink to go directly to your booj website. And then of course your story. So I'm going to show you now how to get into your Mack Center profile, because that's really important. So up here on the home page of your apps, or really any place on the Mack Center platform, you can be on any page, the top right corner should be a circle with your picture. If it's not, if it's showing a balloon head like my test account here, then this is a good reason to get in here and update it now. So update your profile. So updating your profile right here. So you've got all the general information. So you can click right here where it says edit if you need to go in and start editing certain features. You can also go in and click under contact info. Again, make sure all the information you're seeing that the consumers are seeing is correct, and this is where you would go in and add this information. This is where you're going to add your social media, which is good, and that'll show on your bio page. And you can actually choose the platform. This could be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Look, we added Instagram now. Sorry, no TikTok or Snapchat. but you can add these sort of things here, and then you can put in the address or the URL for that platform. And you definitely want it to be included in the directory. Phone numbers, etc., all here. This is where you put your photos. So for those of you that need to do that, make sure it is really important that you do a high resolution photo. Should be at least 1 megabyte is my highest recommendation, but you really want it to be more like 2 or 3. So a professional headshot from a photographer will generally be in that range. And because if it's less than that, the image could appear pixelated or blurry, and we don't want that for you. So now's the time to get some new headshots in there. And your iPhones take really good pictures, but I still recommend a professional headshot. So professional details, this is where you can add your specialties, designations that you can see, and the additional service areas. So office service areas will be put in, but for you, this is where you want to add additional service areas such as 5 extra cities. Let's say you're in Milwaukee, but you want to put in Brookfield, Waukesha, and other areas, Oak Creek and places like that. So the suburbs or surrounding areas. Personal details, so this will fall under your bio. So this is where I want you to take the time, if you've not done this yet, to write your bio. Make sure you're using Google Docs or Word, because there's no spell check here and there's no grammar check, as you can see. So copy and paste, make it look good. But I will say less is more. Maybe not, you don't have to write a whole lot. And it needs to be where you're speaking directly to the consumers. They want to know, they want to get a good insight into who you are as a person, what you're like to work with, most importantly, what's in it for them. So talk a little bit about what you do outside of work. When I'm not working, I can be found fishing, camping, playing with my dogs, whatever. You can do that. MLS affiliation, this is really important, guys, because if you don't have the right information in here, you're not going to get your listing leads. You're not going to have your listings featured on your website. I mean, you have to make sure this is all working. If you need help, please reach out to our support team. And then finally, awards. So of course, you'll have the awards levels that'll be populated here into based on your performance most recently and in the recent years. So I just want to quickly mention that when it comes to setting up your profile, and you'll be good to go. And now we can get into the website. Any questions on Mack Center profile?
No questions so far.
All right, sounds good. So let's get back into booj. And I've got all kinds of toolbars here happening. Okay, back into booj. Now to get into the website platform, let's click right here where it says website and dashboard. So this is where you will find your home page. So if you're wondering, like, my home page needs work, or it needs to be fixed or whatever, how do I get to my home page for my website? So this is where you get to it, is on the main dashboard. So a lot of you might be wondering, well, what does my website look like right now? So you can actually, so first of all, you can click this link right here, but before you do, I want you to take note, this little I right next to the link, I want you to jot this down, is the username beta user and then beta tester 123 exclamation mark. Or take a picture of this if you're projecting this on a big screen. But I want you to write this down. You're going to need to enter this username and password in order for you to be able to preview your website before it's published. So again, it's beta-user, beta tester 123 exclamation. And again, you can look on your own screen by clicking on this little I right here. Meanwhile, though, so when you click on this link right here, I want to see what my site looks like. Now I'm going to type in beta user, beta tester 123 exclamation mark, and then sign in. So that's what you're going to use that password for. And again, this has to do with being able to view it before you're published and being in preview mode. So here's my website. If I do nothing else at all, I have a website that's already built. So I have some very basic content, but hey, I'm good to go. And so again, some of you might be okay with that and don't want to do a whole lot. So, but my mobile app, so again, this is populated or out of the box content from Remax. Now, one of the things though you have to be careful about is that at least do an update once a month, maybe change a picture, maybe update, a paragraph. But the reason is you don't want your site to sit stagnant. You want it to be favored by search results on Google by being an active website. So I just want to add that disclaimer. So this is all good to go. Looks like I have the search bar front and center. I'm going to show you how to do that. And by the way, I can go up here to the menu and I can see what's going on. And I'll show you that in the navigation section here. So we're going to close that. All right, let's go back to the dashboard. I'm going to leave that open, and I recommend you do as well. Leave that tab open. So right here where it says homepage. So some of you might be looking at yours and you're like, hey, I didn't have that search bar on the top of my picture. Well, I'm going to show you how to change that. So I have the one called the agent search layout. So if you click change homepage, this is going to show you what's happening on your site. So the one that I chose, some of you might have agent modern layout, which means the search bar is under the image. If you do agent search layout, this is going to have the search bar right on top of that image. You always want to make it easy for people to search for properties on your website. That should be the #1 priority. So agent search layout. So if you click here and make sure that green check mark is here, and then go down to the bottom and hit save. And you'll have the same layout that mine is showing if that's what you really want. You'll kind of get used to some of these. There's different layouts, but I'm going to guess a lot of you are going to use the agent search layout. So here's something I want to make mention of.
I'm sorry, real quick. We have a couple people asking if you can show again how you got to where you are right now.
Sure. So how I got there is, so there's 2 different options here, but you want to go to, so we're on the website dashboard, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I click over here to change homepage. So change homepage will show me a preview of a thumbnail of what the initial layout of my homepage looks like. So the one that I chose was agent search layout, which will have the search over the top of the image on the top of the screen. So it's exactly what I was showing on mine. I think by default, a lot of yours will be on agent modern, but click this green check mark to change it to agent search.
Okay, Michelle, and can you show them again if they press the information button next to the link that the username and password will pop up?
Absolutely. So right here, and this is your link for your preview of your site, but be sure to click this to write down the username and password for the website. So beta-user, beta tester 123 exclamation mark. It's the same for all of
them. If I can just address something real quick.
Sure.
A couple of agents have popped in and said that under the MLS section, they're seeing different messages. Some messages may say that their MLS is currently pending review, or that the status is complete, but the feed is pending. So pay no attention to that right now. That is all stuff that the brokers are working on. For brokers who see those messages, if you have not filled out your agreement yet, then please reach out to me directly. You all should have all brokers should have my personal email address already. Those messages are appearing that way because we had to turn off the feed so that agents were not accidentally publishing their sites before March 31st. So in order to do that, we had to mark that all MLSs are either under review or under compliancy review so that you couldn't publish them. That's what turns the trigger to unpublished. So pay no attention to that. All the MLSs are set up and ready to go. All of them have been approved. So on March 31st, those messages will go away and you will have data.
Thank you. Very important message. All right. So is everyone good with the, I'm going to move on from this. And again, you can find that always right here in this I button before you publish. So, and by the way, you'll see this is a URL that technically is assigned to your website right now in preview mode. When you publish, it's going to change over to your username, which is your remax.net, .remax.com. So like mine would be mhoyt@.remax.com. So the system will give you a domain name that is marketable that you can put on business cards and flyers. But however, we'll always encourage you to get your own custom domain and use it that way. So we'll talk a little bit more about the domain in just a second. I want to quickly mention, this is probably the most unexpected place you would find this, but the mobile app link for your personally branded Remax mobile app. Now, everyone that's watching right now, in order to get this to work, I'd like you to grab your phone and delete the mobile app for Remax off of your phone completely and altogether, even if it's the newest version. Just get it off there, unless you've already done this, what I'm about to do. So remove that mobile app off your phone. The next thing you're going to do is, once you've done, and by the way, for most phones, you just press and hold it, it'll start shaking, and then you hit the X and it's gone. So then what you want to do is, now, this is how you will, now and in the future, you will be able to send your own custom mobile URL link to anyone whose cell phone number you enter into this box. It's great. And so what you do is you can put your own cell phone number into this box right here if you're following along. Type it in, and then I want you to hit text. So what happens is, the reason you cannot have, the only reason this works is if you don't have the Remax app downloaded to your phone. So when you hit text, it's going to generate a link, and the consumer clicks it when you text it to them, email it to them, or whatever, and it will prompt them right to the App Store or Google Play Store to download the Remax app. When they download it and open it, they're going to see your face. It's branded for you. So moving forward, what you want to do is say to people is, hey, I want to make it easy for you. I'm going to send you a link to my mobile branded app. And when you click on this and you use it, then everything you do, save searches, ask questions, whatever, you will actually, I'll be notified. I'll be able to see that activity. So one of the things I do want to make mention as a disclaimer, by someone using your personally branded mobile app does not automatically make you the preferred buyer's agent. Sorry, don't be mad. But anyway, it doesn't. So I just want to put that out there. They still would have to go on the desktop version of Remax.com, and they have to choose you as a PBA. But you will get all their activity. You'll get leads as they're using your mobile app that'll come directly to you. So I just want to make that really clear, and let me know if there's any questions on that.
Hey, Michelle, can you show again how to get where the mobile app branding is at?
So yeah, we are on the website and we are on the dashboard. So we're still on the dashboard of the website. And then right here where it says mobile app branding, remember, remove the old Remax app off your phone in order for this to work, and then type your own cell phone number into here and hit this text button, and you should get a link sent to you. Now that link that is sent to you, by the way, you can keep it on your notes on your phone. You can just copy and paste it and text it to people that way too. So just so you have that link available, that's your personally branded mobile app. It's a Remax app, but it's yours personally with your information. This is new and it's a different way than we did it before, but just wanted you to know that this is here. Okay. All right, so let's keep moving through. We're going to have some fun with our website. Thanks for the questions, everyone, and your interest and hanging with us. Okay, so let's move on. So we're going to go, so here's the home page. Like if you want to edit your home page, you can actually right here, edit this layout. So one of the things you're going to love, if you haven't noticed already about these websites, is as you're building, on the left-hand column, the right-hand side shows a preview of what content is happening. So like you can actually see. Now I will say there's been some known issues with some of the preview windows. So some of you see blank or nothing showing up here. There is a known issue, and we ask for your patience while we get working through that. But remember, I chose the agent search layout, and it sounds like a lot of you wanted to do that too. So this is showing right up here at the top. This will be what the header looks like for my page. And that's what this is called, is the header. So right here in the middle is, so here's all this different content that's added. So your mobile app is in here, and then the Remax content that's already created here has been added too. So the blog block, I will show you what that looks like. And then it looks like there's a slideshow that's here that's in draft mode. Here's what's good about it. Let's say that you have a block in here and you're not quite sure you like the content and you don't want it to show right now, and you don't have time to work on it right now until tonight. You can actually turn this toggle to draft mode, and now it won't even be there. So then you can go back and work on it later. So I can do that as well. And by the way,
Michelle, I'm sorry. Can I cut in real quick? We're getting a ton of questions about the mobile app. I just want to make sure that it's very clear that the Remax search app is different from the booj CRM mobile app. So the Remax search app is consumer focused for the consumer to be able to search. So that is what you will send. That link that you have that Michelle just went over is what you will send to your client. They will download that app so that all of the search features are branded to you as the agent. The booj CRM app is what you as the agent will use to be able to enter all of your information and have it update real time into your booj desktop CRM.
Thank you. That's a great question, and I can see where the confusion would lie. Yeah, the CRM app is just for you. Nobody sees that but you. The Remax app for consumers is front-facing public. So good to know. Yeah, I know in live training, we tend to spend more time on that. So it's, I appreciate you working through this in this format. So what we're doing right now, so for those of you that may not be with us, I'm going to exit out of here. What we're doing is we are in the we're actually back in the dashboard. And if you want to edit your home page, I just want you to know where to find that. So once again, it says current home page. Changing the home page changes the layout. Remember adding the search bar at the top. But if you want to edit the content, you want to go here where it says edit, and then you'll go inside of here to edit that content. So if I click this edit button, it's going to be, yeah, so see some of these features are not available. This is in preview mode. If I click right here where it says blog block, what this is, by the way, the blog, this, if you can use the Remax content that's provided. So the Remax blog is going to regularly update. So again, helping make sure your website doesn't go stagnant if you don't make any changes at all. So if you click right here, you can add your own blog, or you can right here use this checkbox to use the Remax blog. And then it's constantly updating. So I'm going to get back to those design blocks. I just want you to see where you can make changes. Again, here's what your homepage looks like. And then you can start adding things to it. Like if I want to add, let's say I want to add my bio to the home page. So if I go to add block, there's a lot of different design blocks in here, but if I choose the bio block, remember the Mack Center profile, everyone. So if I choose bio block, this is going to populate in here. Now this says it can be added in a Mack Center, but go ahead and save it, even though nothing shows there. And now I'm going to show you where it's going to appear. And it's right here. So this is what my bio would look like. Now let's say that I want this bio block to be up at the top of the screen under my main header. So I can actually click and hold it and move it up to the top. And that's exactly where it went. And there it is. So it's right under my image. So the bio block, remember, is fed from Mack Center, and you can add it. So this could be your home page. It's the header, it's your bio. And actually it should. You should definitely give yourself that opportunity to promote yourself. All right, let's get out of here and let's keep moving through. And we can get a little bit more creative. So by the way, just go up here to the top and you can hit exit. So we're moving down the road here on the website features. So if I click on the next thing, which is pages, it's going to take me to this page that I'm on here. Now, these are all the pages that have been created for this website, or layouts, and doesn't mean they're necessarily active, but they are created. And if I get my favorite pages and I want to go in and start looking for them, I can either look at them in grid view or list view. And then as I get to know the names, it might be easier to find, or you can search. And it shows you how many are published and all of that. So one of the things you can do, if you hover over any of these three little dots, you can actually clone some of these templates and pages. So if you really have your favorite layout and you just want to change the content or images, you want all your pages to look alike, you can just clone a page and then continue to go in and change what's in there, but still the layout looking exactly the same. So let's move on. We're going to come back and we're going to create a custom page, but let's keep moving through under navigation. So here's what navigation is. On your website, this is why I recommended keeping this tab open. On your website, you've got the menu. The menu shows you a list of items here. These are the pages that are active on your site right now, and they're in the menu. So all of these items right here can be found and can be edited inside of the navigation, which is what we're in now. So again, this has to do with the blue menu on any of your websites. So right here we've got, so here's navigation. So unlinked pages versus active navigation. So under active navigation, we've actually got the buy and sell tabs. Remember, we just looked at those. And we've got resources, my info. So let's just say that we want to look at some of these, or if you want to preview them, you can, or you can do it on your website. Or more importantly, you want to move something around. So you can actually take, these are what are called parent-child relationships. So the resources is the parent, the account benefits and Remax blog is the child. So it exists right underneath there. So you can actually move, maybe I want the blog to be on the top. So I can just move this up and there we go. Maybe I want to move one of these into, let's say about Remax, I want to be under resources. I can put this up here too. It takes practice, by the way. The first couple times I did it, I couldn't get them to line up right. And so you just have to click and drag and move it up there. You can, if you want to, like I said, you can preview them or you want to edit the contents inside of them, you can as well. one of the things that you can do, I'm going to delete this because I want to show you how to do this. Let's see if it'll let me delete it. I'll just do it again. That's okay. So one of the things you can do is you can add a menu item that links outside of your website. Now, I want to put a cautionary disclaimer on that. I don't want you to take people off of your website, with the exception of something like school district, which is the example I used on this the other day. So maybe you want to send people directly to your school district website. So here's what you want to do is you want to call, you're creating a new menu item. So creating the menu item is right up here. And here's what you want to do. So we're going to call this school district, whatever yours is. School district, can't type today. School district ABC. And you want this to be set up as a link, okay? Now you could also do this with, if you have a landing page for registration for an event or something like that, you can create it that way too. So the link URL, here's what needs to happen with this. So we need to go over to right here. I'm just going to open up a new tab and I'm going to go to a school district that I happen to know is in this area. So we'll just do school district. Put it in here. So you go to the website for the school and then you click here and go on to that website. So right up here, you want to copy this URL and go back to booj and then paste it right here. And I'm going to save it. So now it just saved it. I have it twice, but it saved it right here as its own menu item. So I'm going to go back to my website and now I'm going to refresh. That's important. You have to refresh. And I'm going to click right here where it says menu. And if I go down here, see where it says school district ABC. Now I need to delete that, but this is what I just created. When I click here as a consumer, it takes me directly to that school district site. So it's really important that you kind of do it that way. And once again, that's how you set up an extra menu item, and that's active navigation. So right-hand side, this is what's actually live and showing on my website. These are all pages that are there, but they're not necessarily linked or live on my website. You may want to consider creating pages in the future, like I said, for special events, client appreciation festivals, and you can just continue to use those templates over and over again each quarter, each year, and then just move them back over to unlinked versus active, okay? All right, so let's keep moving down the row here. So let's go to the testimonials, I'm sorry, templates. So templates are exactly what we changed before. Remember the agent social layout versus agent search layout. This gives you an entire list, which we saw before when we edited the home page. So these are all existing here. You can clone those and reuse those. Let's click on testimonials. So you can actually manually add and copy and paste testimonials from sites like Google, Facebook business page, or Realtor.com, for instance. And because there is a separate block for Zillow reviews, which I'll show you how to get to. So what you need to do is you need to add your testimonials in here manually by copying and pasting. So let's just say that the author is, we'll just say this is Mickey Mouse again. And the testimonial is, my agent was great. So you're going to actually enter this in from, you're going to copy and paste from that other platform. Now, one thing that's kind of funny is you have to rate yourself. So give yourself 5 stars every time. Now, here's a best practice as well. One of the things that will not transfer over is the date of the testimonial that you're pulling. So you're pulling off Google, Facebook, or wherever. Reviews are really viewed best by the most recent to the not most recent. So it's important that you have dates on these. When you put these manually onto your booj website, they're not timestamped. What I recommend is you actually type the date in yourself. So I'm going to put in 3/18/2020. So that'll be good. So then the consumer viewing it on your site will know exactly when that was written. So there's no way to pick a date right now, but this is how it's going to be best. So I'm going to click add, and then the system will start logging these and keep track of these. Visible means that anyone can see it on my website, but of course I can go back and hide it. So that's how you do that. And the Zillow reviews you'll do in a different place, which I'll show you in just a second. Under the website, Domain manager, you're not going to do anything here as of yet, but when the time comes around March 31st, you're going to be assigning your custom domain to your website if you choose to do so. Remember, again, by default, you will get your username.remax.com. Let's go to website settings. So website settings have to do with registration. So this, as you can see, like if you go to this section, if you do restricted, this means you can actually limit the number of listings that someone can view before they have to register on your website. It goes all the way up to 99, but it's up to you. I think most of you feel the same way in that it's better to give them that freedom to kind of browse around. So under relaxed, then they can actually use the tool and use it freely, and they can choose to register on their own. It's completely up to them. Okay. Any questions so far? I'm going to go back to pages. So let's go back to pages and let's build a page from scratch, because a lot of you are probably excited to do this. And meanwhile, while you're doing that, I'm going to show you some examples of some sites that are out there that are really good. So let's get back to website and pages. Let's see what's happening here. Might have to refresh. Something's going on here. Pages. Uh-oh. Okay, let me give that a second to refresh. Let me show you those examples I was mentioning. So the first one is michellebellisari.remax.com. So see, she's using her default username and default domain, I should say, on her website. This is an agent in Florida who's done a lot of really great work on her website. So she's gotten very creative with some of the content blocks. She's added her own custom image. So it's Michelle with one L, michellebellisari.remax.com, and all of this. So here's a menu, and she's done a lot of different things here. So I would ask that all the 200 people that are on here today, don't reach out to Michelle and ask her what she did. She probably, I'm sure she'd love to hear from you, but so if you have questions about what she's done here, you know, just let us know. We'll try to answer those today. But she looks like she has the agent social layout because she has the search bar underneath her image. So in her case, her priority was to have a nice branded image here on this section right here. So featured listings, so she's got her listings. This is a content block you can set up for your site. She's also added some blocks for area information. So this is where she's set up, there's a content block you can choose that is a grid format with images and content, and she has done that. And she's actually got nice pages set up for each area. And then she has a video. So you can do a lot with the video block. So by the way, video content on your booj website cannot be a video file. It cannot be embedded with HTML code. It has to be a link hosted on YouTube or Vimeo. So we do recommend YouTube always. So like I said, this is Michelle Bellisari and how hers is set up. I'll show you one more, tburrows.remax.com. This is an agent in Idaho who has done a nice job with his page. And keep in mind, by the way, these are the regions that are part of the company-owned regions for Remax LLC. They've had these booj websites to work on for months. Well, I shouldn't say that, several weeks. So if you're looking at it going, oh, I'll never get there, you will get there. You have a preview period. You have time to work on this. So I don't want anyone to be intimidated by any of this. So you see the nice image he's set up. Looks like he's got the agent social layout as well with the search bar underneath. And look what he did, just like I did in the example before. He has his bio block right front and center underneath that main title and that main header. Okay, and then here's his reviews. Now he did not timestamp his reviews, but these are manual reviews. So, so I guess if I ever meet Tim, I'll give him that little tidbit. But you can actually put so otherwise see how it looks, you don't have dates on them. And people like to see that when they're looking at reviews. So these are the manual ones. He also added a Zillow block, which we're going to add when we are building our page. Hopefully I can get into that feature in just a second. So my reviews on Zillow, again, these are timestamped because they're feeding live from Zillow and they're real time. So he also has the social block, as it's called, which will feature Remax LLC Twitter feed, and it'll be all real time and updated. And then of course, here's the content here that's provided by Remax LLC and a video, okay? But like I said, please don't let this discourage you or think you have to be a web developer. These agents have taken a lot of time to work on their sites and they've got a lot of content. I want you to keep it simple, less is more. So let's go back and let's see if I can get into my pages. There we go, I'm in. So let's build our own page together. So let's go to Add Page and let's click on where it says Create New Page. And we're gonna call this About and the name of our town. So if you wanna do this with me, so I'm just gonna say my hometown about Chicago. I'd have a lot to write if I did that. So, and we're gonna put in the description, the history of, I'm just gonna make this up, Windy City. Save. So what we need to do first is we need to choose a header, okay? So the header is the very top of the page and that is gonna be, that is required. You can't go without it. So what do you want that headline to look like? Now remember, search should be prominent, so it's up to you, but I'm gonna go ahead and choose the headline image with search right here. So look, again, remember it's gonna show up in the preview window, although we've been having some glitches with it. So let me go back, if it'll let me. Yeah, so it's not showing right now in full preview mode. Let's choose an image though, because I need to do that. So I want you to choose an image in this content block. And what's great about this is that, first of all, Remax LLC, as you can see, has provided tons of photos in here that you have the royalty rights to use. So that's the key, you gotta have the rights to use photos. So you have the ability to do that. So you can actually just add any image. One thing is if you want to add your own images, you may want to open up one of these existing ones and use these sizes as a guide if you're going to create something in Canva, Photoshop, or something similar, okay? So right here, dimensions 1920 by 1280 is how that will work. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to choose that. Or if I cancel this, by the way, that's where you're going to go in and choose your own image and then you'll have to update it here or add it here. I still find it interesting you can add a PDF, but that's good. I wondered if that was a typo at one point. So max file size it does give you. I'm just going to choose an image and I'm going to click insert. So there's my image. Looks like I'm having a preview issue, but it will eventually get there. And here's my title. Again, it's going to be about, and by the way, I recommend if you're going to do a page like this to put the state, especially for those of you that are in Bloomington where there's one in every state. And then you have to type in something in the description in order to be able to save this block. I'm just making things up at this point. Okay, save. So, all right, so I'm working on my headline image. So you can see it kind of in the background. I'm just having some issues with preview. So add block. Now here I want to add my bio block because I want that to be, I'm sorry, we're on the About Chicago page. But whatever the page is, it doesn't necessarily have to be about your town. Here's how you start adding blocks. Because I know we are winding down on our time together today. So let's choose the Zillow block because I want you to see where to add your Zillow screen name. So we go Zillow review block. And now my reviews are going to be there. Now what I need to do though is I need to type in my screen name. So if you don't know where to find your Zillow screen name, you can do a couple things. You can log into your account and find it inside your profile, or you can search on Zillow just as a consumer would with the Agent Finder application. And I'm actually going to type in an agent name. I'm going to find him and he's right here. And now what I'm going to do is down here where it says screen name, you have to copy all of this content that's in here as it is, even if it has spaces in here. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to booj. And I'm going to add that here and save it. Look what it did. It automatically, instantly put the reviews in there just by me putting in the screen name. So that's how it should work for you too. So let's keep working through this design block or these design blocks. And let's choose, say, a video embed. So again, you're not technically embedding it, but you're adding a YouTube link. So I don't have one right now, but if by clicking on it, it will drop it in there. And then I just have to go in and add a video at any point in time. So if I hit this back button, see how it's there. Now again, because I don't have a video there, I can put it in draft mode until it's time for me to add my video link. Maybe I need to work on that. And that's, for some of you, this is a call out to all of you to get your YouTube channels up and running, because you will need to have it hosted on YouTube to put it on here. Another block you can add, you know, again, you can add image with text or that sort of thing, but here's the manual testimonial block. And again, you have to have those manual testimonials plugged in order for you to see them. So see, remember I wrote that one review? There it is, Mickey Mouse. Let's add another block. You will have to take time and get used to these. So let's do like a slideshow. This one says it's stepped or step slideshow, carousel blocks, listing blocks. See, there's a lot you can do with this. Save search. So actually, my hopes are we're going to get you some type of a dictionary that will have each block and what exactly it does. So we're working on that. So listing block grid. So that's where you choose your listings. Let's go to another one where we're going to do image slideshow stepped. And this is most likely what Michelle, the Florida agent, did on her own page in adding those different images. Okay, create a description. So this will be, you just remember, you always have to put something in the description to get it to work. Okay, so I'm going to go through and see what it's doing now. So when I set up those blocks, so like I said, this is essentially what the Florida agent did. So you're going to set up 5 or 6 more of those blocks and set up the different areas. So it's going to take some work, but it's really, it looks fantastic when it's done. So what other questions do we have, Erica, as we start winding down? We have about 5 minutes left.
We actually just got a couple of good questions about the manual reviews. Can hyperlinks be added to a manual review?
So let's go back to that section. I have not experimented with that. I don't believe that you
I hadn't either.
Yeah, I was like, I don't believe that you can. Oh, I'm just curious what you would want to hyperlink to, because again, we don't want you taking people off your website unless you're saying take them directly to Google or Facebook. So we're going to do add testimonial. And actually, we can try it. So my Google reviews. I'm just going to put any link in here. Let's just pick one. Or my Zillow reviews. What is their reviews? I'm actually just going to use this as an external link. This profile. Fingers crossed. You know, it's probably not going to look right though. I would probably need to do, yeah, I can't do it as a hyperlink, but I could actually paste a link in there. Not a lot of options in that box. Yeah.
Yeah, Bart said he was asking because he would like to hyperlink a photo in.
You might be overcomplicating it a little bit. If you want to, oh, I see you want to put a photo with the review. So you may want to choose, you might want to choose a different content block to do something like that, where you're actually, so instead of using the testimonials block, what you can do is maybe go to, let's see, I think I have an idea. We could go to potentially, so back to that page we were working on. Let me go back. Pages. And here's the one I was working on. We're going to click edit. So if I choose a block, like the one I was just doing actually with the photos, and then you can put content next to it, that might be the best way to go. I would say maybe choose the image text slideshow stepped, and then you're just going to have to copy and paste your reviews into where you can actually do the text. So let's go into, let me go back. Let's see if I can do that. So I did image text show slideshow stepped. So now what I want to do is edit this. Okay, so again, you could put a picture here and then you could paste your review into here. So that might be the way to go. See, we're all learning together. So I would recommend that probably at this point instead of using the testimonials block. Good question. What else? Anything?
We've gotten a lot of questions asking if there will be more in-depth webinars or videos available on the website section specifically. We've had a lot of people say that they feel really comfortable with the CRM portion of booj, but of course there are a lot of different blocks that are there. So will there be more sessions later on that will help them specifically with building websites?
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to do webinars surrounding all of the major events that are happening around the 31st. And immediately following that, we will take some more exploratory sort of individual feature webinars, but I cannot stress enough the videos that are available on Remax University. There are literally dozens of videos dedicated just to the website, showing you a lot of these things that we just went through. So please check those out. And again, they're in 5, 6, 7, 8-minute increments. So do not hesitate at all to go to Remax University. That will show you some different things. As we get more into this, we are going to give some more intermediate to sort of advanced type of workshops where you can get really creative with this. But that's why we like to show you those examples so you can see, and I don't want anyone to feel like they need to rush to make their website perfect. The most important thing I can implore to all of you is to promote your website. No one's going to see it. If you have the best looking website out there, they will not see it if you're not promoting it, if you're not putting your domain name out there, if you're not putting it on your business card and posting it on social media and trying to drive traffic to your own website. That's the most important thing of anything. So start out with the basics and then you can start growing from there. So it's actually a lot of fun. And I think a lot of you are already really enjoying it and having a good time with the workshops that you're doing. So, but please check out those videos on Remax University in the time being. And then we will do more tutorials like this in the future. Anything else? Okay, hey, thanks everyone for hanging out with us today, for doing this training that we had hoped to do live. But I absolutely appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate all of you and I care about all of you. I want to make sure everyone's healthy and well and your families. And we will see you again very soon. We're doing this again tomorrow. So take care and you'll get a copy of this recording later today. Thanks.